we said we're going to be in the car after this, but we're just, what do you call it? We just have a couple of extra parts, so ready?
Well, no, we have extra parts, son, when we're fixing something. There's a problem, Houston. All right, you're back in Dad's den with Dad and son, and we're working on Mom's 2004 Ford Crown Victoria on that electronic air conditioning control unit, whereas the AC was coming out of the defroster instead of the vents. One mechanic said the whole dashboard has to come apart, yada yada. Big job. Another mechanic said the same thing. It was a big job. It could be the blend door, it could be this door, that door. Anyway, the prices, they were coming back to fix this. Really, my issue was coming in around $750 to $900 to repair this. Whenever I start hearing numbers like that, always makes me want to think about what makes this thing tick and how this could be, you know. I'm also one of those that like to double check what the mechanic says, you know, because, you know, while I believe cars are built a little bit complicated, I also have a belief that, you know, our service people tend to complicate them a little bit more than they need to be. And I could be wrong on that. But in this case, I'm pretty sure that I'm not wrong. I did my research, did my homework on the problem, consulted, my mom consulted one mechanic on this who said hall dash has to come apart. I consulted a mechanic on it who basically said the dash got to come apart. And again, these were the price quotes coming back on this. So, was the mechanic right or wrong? Well, we're going to learn that, and we're going to see that if he was or wasn't in a few minutes. I like to say more, was he right or wrong? I'd like to say more of, was he building a job on a simple problem? And could this have been fixed for $200 and him make a handsome profit, or, you know, is $900 or $750 to $900 just complete highway robbery, you know? If I'm right, I think this repair done by a mechanic, not to waste your time, and not in Dad's little den here. As you can see, I got all my little gizmos. Always have one of these around too. So you just catch your little metal parts here. It's a little magnet on the bottom of it. You won't lose anything. If I'm right, the mechanic could have repaired this in his shop for $200. An hour's labor, an hour or two labor, let's say, plus a couple bucks in materials. I give you $200, and I still think the mechanic would have made a handsome repair. We don't know what they've actually would have did, you know, whether they would have bought a whole new unit, which you can buy this unit brand new on Amazon for $299. Dormant makes it. You can try to locate one in the junkyard. I found one that was beat up, old, you know. And
something you don't want to work with.
No, and you know what? It could have had the same problem that the one I'm taking out had, you know, or a few months later, and they wanted $250 for that. So I mean, rather than give them $250, I'd buy the new Dormant for $299 personally. But again, $299 and labor and all of that, I'm just not seeing it. So that's what prompted us, me and my son, to come into Dad's den. You can see we got a good variety of little gizmos around. But
yep, for coffee, you know, everything you need.
Oh, yeah, I can't live without my coffee. See, we're well stocked on the donut shop blend. So, what I wanted you guys to see is now me putting this thing back together. Now, I just simply went to Harbor Freight and wanted to make sure that I had the right tools. So when I was looking at the diagram of this, I kind of looked at what we were dealing with, and I realized that my regular screwdriver would probably be working against me. So I picked up a really $5 cheap set of Precisions, you know, which are proving to be really essential in getting this piece back together. And here, once again, look, we got our little pieces right here, right? We're going to get these screws back into place. Now, when you're getting these back in, sometimes that little wire, as you can see, you know, you don't want to make sure that's out of the way, and that you're not driving your screw into that wire. Then you kind of defeated the purpose of what you set out to do. So we're down to the last screw here, and I don't think I showed you guys this part because, like I said, this is the first time we're doing this, so we're learning along with y'all. Everybody's learning at the same time. We're figuring this out. You know, our motto is in this house, we ain't paying nobody until we paid ourselves. And that's the way that goes. So that's what happens, you know.
Gotta make sure a mechanic is doing what they gotta do.
I don't trust anybody in service. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because professionally...
Complicated people. Just people complicate it. As you said, then there are people who scam you, you know. There are people who price stuff that are more than it actually is, and then they don't do the good work, so, you know.
I get aggravated when customers are, well, I'm not going to, I know that my son will probably put this on YouTube, so I won't discuss the nature of my business, but I am in the service business myself, and I won't tell you exactly what I repair and won't repair because I might identify me, but I hate when customers are paying their good money or getting answers back from their service providers that are not meeting their needs, and they're driving around or whatever they're choosing to do, you know, whether it's your home or your car, with problems that just go unfixed. And they're ridiculously simple, but just really made to be extremely complex by our service providers.
Yeah, like they tell you to do this problem, and then they tell you this problem, and really it's not even the situation. They're just, you know, they're just basically leaving the car alone for a week and then telling you it's good because it's not even the part that needs to be repaired.
So here we got this little connector, whatever you call this, Jones connector. Don't quote me on terminology. Like I said, I'm just the dad in his den on a Friday afternoon with his kid who's off from school and figuring out how we're going to do this. So I'm learning along with you. I don't really remember how this went. Okay, so as we learned together, we learned that this slides down here. This has to come out here. And this has to go in. Okay, so, you know, I said this has been in the car a long time, so these electric cords feel a little brittle. Gonna want to make sure that I get this back together, but this thing remains plugged, because guess what? If it doesn't,
You may have some issues.
oh, here, I might. Oh.
Oh, you said that.